make a video. I'm not really sure what the focus of the video is going to be. I just know that I wanted to try to help people in a way that I feel I kind of needed help myself lately. Yeah, I'm not really sure what I'm going to talk about yet, but I've got a nice cup of nighttime tea. I think it has chamomile, fennel and licorice, I think. So yeah, if you have time, or if you can make tea or something while listening to this, if you want to pause it and make a cup of tea, or just get something that's warm or comforting, like maybe even just grab a blanket or have this on in the background while you're reading your favourite book, or like I was doing before, I was reading Watchmen. I hope the background noises don't kind of take over too much. I'm leaving you on a little lunchbox thing. I'm going to try to not have it fall down too many times. And if I ever feel stressed, sometimes I smell some lavender oil. It's just instantly quite calming. Not everyone likes the smell of lavender, it's quite overwhelming, but it's quite soothing if you do like it. Yeah, if you're comfortable, then I guess I'll carry on. Yeah, lately I've just, a lot of the YouTube videos that I do listen to or watch nowadays that are kind of ASMR focused aren't usually for sleeping. They're usually more for kind of just relaxation, or to kind of aid me in certain areas like loneliness or like self-esteem kind of problems. And I am forever grateful when people make videos kind of focused on those areas, so I thought I'd try to talk about it a little bit. Yeah, I've been feeling quite anxious lately. I think that there's a lot of reasons for it. I'm not sure if it's just me, but I don't know, there seems to be like a lot of just tension lately. I think part of it's down to kind of social media is just kind of, it's making it more difficult for people to live lives in what I feel like a normal way. Like, I mean, I'm obviously quite young, so most of my life has kind of been shaped by social media and like smartphones and stuff. So I don't know too much about life before it, but I have several older sisters that I kind of saw them growing up in a different way. So I understand that there was something else before this. It just, to me, it seems that there are so many different ways that people can portray themselves or present themselves online. Like fitness blogs, models, celebrities, even there's a whole kind of new idea of celebrity just based on people that just have a lot of followers on social media. They might not necessarily have become celebrities in any other kind of way, as a lot of celebrities do nowadays. They might just be kind of beautiful in some people's standards, or even just have like a good kind of business mindset, like the Kardashians or something. They know how to kind of get money out of their kind of like talents and things. So it's easy to kind of look around and see how people are presented, and for that to kind of, I don't know, affect normal people in a negative way. Like, I know for me, I'm not sure why I'm opening up so much, but I feel like I can. So, yeah, I know for me that I struggle to kind of become used to, how to put it? Like, I see so many other people's faces on Instagram and Facebook and Facebook trending and just everywhere online that you see like the same person, the same model or whoever every day, and they look perfect in your eyes, and their lives look kind of perfect, and you can kind of forget that they are just a person as well, and that even though you might see them for a few seconds every few days or something in the media, that they are themselves all of the time. So you see this person and you think they're beautiful, they're successful, they have this going for themselves and this, and then you compare it with yourself, a person that you're around all the time, and all you can come up with about yourself might be negatives. But then with this other person, this like celebrity or these models, you can only see the positives because you see them so kind of really, and it's hard to take a step back from yourself and imagine yourself as other people see you. I know that I can't really do that, and it's something I hope I can start to do at some point. I guess I just wanted to talk about how some of the things I've been thinking about lately, and hopefully other people might kind of recognise and relate to some of it, and just realise that they're not alone. I might not be making any sense at all, but hopefully I am. Yeah, it's easy to see the way that people are presented and just assume that everything must be going well for them and everything must be perfect, and then compare your own life to theirs. And when you spend so much of your time comparing yourself and traits about yourself to other people, I know it's hard to stop because I can't even really stop most of the time, but you must realise that nothing will be achieved by that. And that shouldn't make you feel guilty. There's nothing wrong with having that kind of mind that makes you compare yourself to others. You're not a bad person for doing it. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just something that I think in the kind of world that we live in today is something to be expected. But it's also something we can hopefully change about ourselves. It's an exercise that I've been asked to do before, and it's to try to list maybe 5, maybe 3 things about yourself that you like, or that you can find positives in. And if you can do that now, then that's great. I hope you're already thinking of stuff. I know that people around you would be able to instantly, but I also recognise how hard that might be for you to recognise those things in yourself, and you might not even be able to come up with anything at all, and then that might lead to feelings of guilt and might start to make you question why. But if you can't get to 3, if you can't find anything right now, that doesn't matter. That's just because you're in that kind of mindset still where you're kind of in this biased view of not being able to see you for who you really are. I was talking to a counsellor yesterday, and we're talking about how our minds are just kind of patterns. Like, it's just made up of a series of patterns and a series of kind of constructs that we've built ourselves. I think most people know that memories aren't really real, 100%. We can't remember every single detail, and no matter how much we try to keep it to what really happened, it's really easy to let emotions at the time, or just distractions, just anything, change little details of a memory. And the more you think about it, the more those little details can change over time, and then some things might get blown out of proportion. So that's sometimes why, if something slightly awkward or embarrassing happens, even though everyone else involved, if there was anyone else, like if you kind of tripped up in the street, most people probably won't remember that the next day, especially if they're strangers. They've probably forgotten about it soon after. But for people that can get anxious, that memory might kind of play on them over the next few hours or days or weeks or whatever, and you might start to kind of blow it out of proportion and think, everyone noticed. Like, if I see one of those people again, they might remember my face and remember me as that person that fell over, something like that. And that's quite like a simple example, but we can often take memories and kind of distort them to kind of make us a bit more scared or worried than we need to be. And it's going to be a hard cycle to get out of for me, but I hope we can start together to try to get out of that cycle. Because at the end of the day, not much matters, and it's so easy to let little things make us anxious. But what I want to do is start trying to find the little things that I love, that make me feel good or happy, affect me just as much and for just as long as the little worrying things do. So for example, if you really love a certain type of bird and you find them beautiful, and you're walking through the park and it's sunny and you like the sun, and you see that bird on a tree, try to get as much happiness and joy out of that as you would out of a moment that would make you scared or sad or anxious. Try to focus on that positive feeling and hold on to it for as long as you can. And hopefully over time those positive feelings will outweigh the negative feelings that come up. Yeah, I think that's just what I'm hoping to say. I'm not really sure what this video is. It's not really a guided meditation or anything, but hopefully it's just a little pick-me-up for some people. Hopefully it will let some people know if you have kind of feelings of anxiety or low self-esteem. So one of my screen prints just fell down. It's a little thing I made a while ago. Yes, if you have problems with like self-esteem or anything, then if you look in the mirror one day and you notice something about yourself that you like, don't feel guilty, don't feel big-headed or anything. Don't let people tell you that's a bad thing to be, to have noticed something good about yourself, and hold on to it. Because people, it's strange, people will see someone that is down on themselves and feeling self-conscious and insecure, and they'll tell them that that's wrong and that they should feel good about themselves and about all these different traits. But if people start showing confidence, then people are scared by that and they think the person needs to kind of humble themselves. So I guess what I'm saying is just, it's a really hard world to live in and to try to please everyone else all the time. So just forget about pleasing other people and just focus on pleasing yourself and making sure that you're happy and that everything you need is there. Don't feel guilty. Up until a little while ago, if I heard the word guilt, I always thought that it meant it was an emotion for when you've done something wrong and it's playing on you. But I've learned recently that that's not the case at all. It's really easy to feel guilty about things that you shouldn't have to feel guilty about at all. If you slack off work a little bit, if you don't quite get something done that you'd prefer to be done sooner rather than later because you took a bit of time out for yourself, or you just relaxed, or you just did nothing, don't let yourself pressure yourself all the time. Don't let yourself make yourself feel guilty about it. Just accept that those feelings are happening, but just recognize it as just something, I don't know, it's just a pattern that's happening. I might not be explaining it very well, but my cancer is talking about patterns and how if we notice something bad about ourselves or our situation, or if we feel worried or anxious, then take a step back from it and just kind of think about how interesting it is that we've noticed this thing about ourselves, this pattern, this issue. Look at yourself, I guess, as a kind of character. Like you're you, and you are experiencing these things, and I'm not telling you that you're not experiencing them, but just kind of try to be interested by how you've noticed this. Like, if someone else tripped up, you won't remember that for weeks. You won't keep thinking about it over and over again and like working yourself up about it. It's only when things happen to ourselves that we kind of focus on these things, these patterns, and we become so kind of aware of ourselves and everything that we do. It's easy to make a negative out of it. But try to get out of that and become unbiased. And look at yourself as you would look at other people. It might be hard to get out of that kind of mindset where you're just kind of locked into your own head. And it might be hard to try to look at yourself as others look at you, because we can never do that, because we'll always just be us. We can ask for opinions, we can ask for criticisms, or we can take compliments, but we can never truly see ourselves as other people, or one particular other person, or a crowd. We can only see ourselves from ourselves. Like, there is nothing we can do to change that, but just try to get out of that pattern of only seeing the negatives and of just thinking about the same things over and over again and working yourself up a pattern. Yeah, I'm not really sure if this has been of any help. Hopefully, if anything, if I've not made any sense, you've just been relaxed by my voice. If that's the least I could do, then that's enough. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about what I've been feeling lately, and about how it's so easy to get, I don't know, to become anxious and worried about things. But if we noticed these things about other people, like, we won't want to make them feel anxious. We won't keep reminding people about their insecurities or something. We only do it to ourselves. And that's a really interesting thing. So try to just think of it that way. Kind of like focus on the psychology of ourselves and how the human mind is so complex that we can even do that. Yeah, I guess it's just trying to take a step back from it, to still let ourselves feel emotion, but just to try to not let the emotion kind of ruin us at the same time. Yeah. I hope this has been of some help or relaxing in any way. One drink my tea. We're going to make another video soon. I might try to find some of the stuff I've been making lately, the artwork, and make a video about that. And a few people asked about a video about explaining about my tattoos, and I might make one of those soon. I'm still not sure.